Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on cruisy, bluesy R&B legend Al Green. And through his song, Let's Stay Together, we looked at that very thing, even when it can be a little bit challenging at times. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, going from there to 1958 in Stretford, Lancashire. This guy was the youngest of 5. I'll give you a bit of a hint. We had 3 older brothers and a sister. We are talking about rock and roll royalty right here. At the age of 6 months, the family would move to Queensland, Australia. And the reason they did that is because Barry, Maurice and Robin Gibb, of course we're talking about the Bee Gees, were starting to get quite famous and were starting to hone their craft in Australia. As a good place to actually hone your craft. But because these 3 were getting big, there would be a move back to England in 1967. And Andy Gibb, who we're talking about today, was given a guitar by his older brother Barry, and he started to dabble around with that a little bit. And he would actually start doing some concerts in tourist clubs in Spain and the Isle of Man, of course, where the Bee Gees actually spent a bit of their time growing up. In 1974, he would actually form the Melody Affair group. Now, Melody Affair was one of the songs that the Bee Gees had going around at the time. But one of his first recordings would be Window of My World. He would actually return to Australia because Barry Gibb said, you know what, it's really good over here. You know what, you could really hone your craft over here. And so he did return to Australia. He started to record demos at this point, and he would end up in a band called Zenta. Now, Zenta were pretty big. They supported such acts as the Bay City Rollers when those guys came to Sydney. So if you're supporting a band as significant as those guys, you must know that you're doing the right thing. So the world was really truly starting to take notice of Andy Gibb. Now, Andy Gibb's always tried to be a little bit separate from his famous brothers. His brothers have contributed lots to the songwriting of Andy, but Andy also did try and forge his own career. One of his first songs, Words and Music, was released. He did write this one. We've got a studio version of this one below. This is from the iconic Countdown in Australia. I did a reflection on Countdown a little while ago, and this is how crazy it was. So Andy Gibb, very good looking guy, you know, beautiful flowing hair, just a good look on stage, nice smiles, and really good vocals. And so Andy Gibb was well and truly establishing himself in his own right. In 1976, Robert Stigwood, who was managing his brothers, responsible for such iconic shows as Saturday Night Fever, signed Andy up to RSO Records, and an album, Flowing Rivers, got released. Now, Andy did write 8 out of 10 of the tracks written on this particular album. So in his own right, Andy was becoming established as a songwriter. And the iconic Joe Walsh, who was in the middle of recording Hotel California with the Eagles, also was involved with some guitar on this album as well. We've got a live version of I Just Want to Be Your Everything below. We've got a live version of this one below. This was written by his older brother Barry, and this got to #1 in the hottest 100. So the fans were well and truly responding to Andy Gibb. One of the other songs off that album, Love Is Thicker Than Water, this also got to #1, and so we got a live version of that one below. So the incredible songs on this album, actually there were millions of albums sold. In 1978, Shadow Dancing got released. This album got to #7 in the USA, #1 in Canada. And interesting, the title track, Shadow Dancing, was written by all 4 Bee Gees brothers. So that's pretty cool right there. And this particular song stayed at #1 for 7 weeks. Shadow Dancing was a massive song for Andy Gibb in particular. Shadow Dancing, it's all about the midnight fun that we have, and that is shadows normally are associated with darkness. You know, you think about a shadow, it's in the darkness. You actually have You know, there's light there, but it's kind of a shadow. Shadow, darkness is all that sort of thing. But when you put the word dancing in there, it brings the whole thing into a new light. Welcome to the genius songwriting of the Bee Gees and Andy Gibb. And that is that shadow dancing is all about the fun that we have when the lights are down. Shadow dancing. So it's a really, really clever play on words. And that is, hey, I really like you. I'm really, really into you. I really enjoy being in your arms, in the shadows, in the darkness, in the magic of the night. And because of that, there's dancing. It's a beautiful thing. Intimate moments, aren't they? They really, really are. And there's been no shortage of songs written about intimate moments, and the way that we engage, the way that we look at it, particularly when you're in a committed relationship, the way that you just really, really is a way for you to escape. And you know, if you think about shadows, first of all, in a negative sense, and that is, well, shadows are in the darkness. Well, shadow dancing kind of puts a whole new spin on it, and that's, you know what, I'm enjoying shadow dancing because it's nothing like the nighttime fun that we have. One of the lines, all through the night. So you know, from the from when the sun goes down until it comes up again, I want to experience all of the colours of you, all of the hues, all of the emotion, all of the passion, everything that just makes us us. So let's come into the shadows because it's a safe, comfortable place just for us to be. So if you are in a committed relationship, don't hold back with this stuff because it's absolutely beautiful. We also had Our Love, Don't Throw It All Away. This has got to number 9. It was another bestseller. We've got a studio version of that one below. This is what happens when a relationship isn't kept front and center. We go from shadow dancing to Our Love, Don't Throw It All Away. We don't want to be in this situation where one person may not even know that it's coming and the other person's thinking, well, I'm over it, really. We don't want to be in that situation. We don't want to be reminiscing back on the shadow dancing moments now knowing that that's no longer going to be the case. So Our Love, Don't Throw It All Away was a massive bestseller for Andy Gibb. In 1980, After Dark was released and the song Desire got to number 4. We got a studio version of that one below. Andy Gibb did go into a few other things, including hosting the show Solid Gold. He was also involved in Pirates of Penzance and Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat on stage. And in 1981, with Victoria, his beloved girlfriend at this time, they actually released All I Have to Do Is Dream. Victoria was actually in Dynasty in the 80s. But they've got the two of them doing a studio version of that one below, Andy Gibb, Victoria Principal. In 1987, he did return to the studio and he did release the album, a single, Man of Fire. This is all about passion. I'm yours, you're mine, and we're just so good together. Below, I've got a bit of a tribute video to Andy Gibb because unfortunately in 1988, only at the age of 30, he died because of a weakened heart. There had been many years of stuff that Andy had been involved in, and that eventually was the thing that would take his life, unfortunately. Obviously, for the Gibb brothers, Andy was much loved, and the Bee Gees has certainly been a big part of Andy's life, providing backup vocals, also contributing songs. But for the younger brother to die first is pretty significant. Just think about poor Barry. He's actually had Maurice and Robin die as well. And so his life has been filled with tragedy, well and truly. But in 1997 at the iconic Las Vegas One Night Only concert, Bee Gees in all their glory, we've got them paying tribute with Our Love, Don't Throw It All Away. So we've got a clip of that one below. Between 1977 and 1980, so we're only talking 3 years of career, there were 3 studio albums, 12 singles and 5 compilation albums, and estimated to have sold 20 million albums worldwide. So Andy Gibb was absolutely huge when he was around. And so it's good to pay tribute to this guy today. The Andy Gibb Memorial Foundation was established when he died to look at heart conditions. So the 9 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Mal Green. So if you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, if this is your first time to Live Reflection Stream Music, or you've come back for another one, How great to see everybody here. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to get on to a group that's a little bit different, Daft Punk. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.